Have you ever heard of meningitis? Do you know the symptoms, the prevalence, or even the treatment for it? What about human papillomavirus, or commonly known as HPV? This is a cause of genital warts and sometimes cervical cancer. Do you know that there's vaccines for these? If I were to tell you that, would this be news to you, or would you have known already? Um, these two diagnoses are very common diseases within the school age children from teenage to 26. It is mostly noted in heavily populated areas such as college or the military. As indicated by WebMD, it is noted that up to 1,000 people are diagnosed newly with meningococcal diseases. In addition to the prevalence of meningitis, HPV is known to be very common as well during these time frames. It is noted to them from the CDC that up to 12,000 women are diagnosed with cervical cancer from HPV-related diseases. In reading these statistics, I believe that educating the parents of teens, as well as college-age community, about these vaccines could assist in lowering the rates of diagnosis. If you've noted, vaccines such as the MMR vaccine, once it is released, the rate of diagnosis drastically decreases. If parents were more willing to vaccinate their children as recommended, the rates of diseases in college-age students would drastically decline. I feel that this would also continue to benefit the overall health of the population if the diagnosis of meningitis and HPV were eradicated. Vaccination could possibly cause this as well. It is noted also that if individuals did not get the vaccine when they were children, they get an opportunity to receive it when they are in college. These two diagnoses are potentially fatal, and prevention of them is much easier than if you would need to treat them. These vaccines, first off, is the HPV vaccine, also known as the Gardasil vaccine, is a 2-step vaccination. Unless administered early, then it is 3 steps. It begins at age 11. HPV targets both sexes, so men and women should receive this vaccine. Some strains of HPV, as mentioned earlier, can cause cervical cancer. The next vaccine is meningococcal meningitis. This affects the brain meninges. The vaccine is a 2-step process and begins again at age 11. Most affects heavily populated areas such as college students or the military and can cause death, paralysis, coma, and much more. These are vaccine photos. This is the human papillomavirus that treats 9 different human papilloma viruses that cause cervical cancer. And this is the meningococcal vaccine. So I realized that there is a need for information. I noticed that many people refuse the vaccine working in the clinic because they feel it's not necessary. It's not required by schools, so they don't feel that they should give it to their child. I feel that this is because there's a lack of information given to parents prior to the vaccination time frames. My plan is to make brochures, create places to obtain knowledge, and improve the vaccination rates in ages 11 through 26. I've created a GoFundMe account. I plan to raise up to $1,000 for starting costs to print brochures, go to schools, and provide a space for questions about these vaccinations. This is a photo here of my GoFundMe account. You can go to the website that's previously listed. I hope that this information helps you and that you will assist me in my decision to proceed in knowledge about the HPV and meningococcal diseases. I hope to lower these rates as soon as possible and see an increase in vaccination. Thank you.